What's going on, Met fans? It is Randy with the All Things Mets channel, where you get your latest Mets media. Everything you know about the Mets on this channel. Definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into today's content video, and that is going to be about Garrett Crochet and why the Mets are interested in him. And maybe the Mets will make a trade for Garrett Crochet. They're definitely interested. Who will they give up? What makes this guy so valuable in a trade? What makes this guy so valuable to the Mets? We're going to get into a whole bunch of topics, but let's get into the first thing about Garrett Crochet, which I really want to talk about, is his velocity and his stuff. Garrett Crochet is known for his high 90s fastball that can touch over 100, 101 miles per hour, along with a solid slider and a developing changeup. This guy is a high upside and power stuff guy. You know, as a left-handed pitcher, the Mets don't have a lot of left-handed pitcher, but David Peterson is starting pitching. So this is why Garrett Crochet is very, very important. And if the Mets were to make a trade for this guy, he brings a rare combination of power stuff and upside that could potentially thrive in the Mets pitching environment. I feel like Crochet can develop into a top-tier starting pitcher. With his 100 miles per hour fastball, that's nasty. His slider, he's developing a changeup. This guy has a ceiling to become a really good starting pitcher. In 2024, the Garrett Crochet season for the White Sox, he went 6-12 with a 3.58. Now, that doesn't sound too amazing, but I would say Garrett Crochet, he's an all-star. This guy's 6-12, but he was on the White Sox. We got to remember that. And also, they didn't really put him out there that much, so many innings. They only gave this guy really 4 innings, 3 innings, 2 innings. They really used him as like an opener. They didn't give him a lot of time to develop as a starter. But this was his first year that he basically was getting developed as a starter or tried to be a starting pitcher. And it went pretty okay. I think it went well. He was definitely a valuable asset in the trade deadline that could have been traded. But the White Sox decided they don't want to trade him just yet. They want to keep it into the offseason. And I feel like Garrett Crochet has, like I said, upside stuff. His fastball is nasty. His slider is nasty. But this guy is a left-handed pitcher, and not a lot. You don't have a lot of left-handed pitchers in free agency or around that could be traded like this guy. So there's a reason why people are interested in him. And also, let's get into another reason, and that is because he's young. He's 25 years old. He's controllable. You got Crochet for another, basically he's still under control through at least 2027. So you get this guy for at least 2 years if you trade for this guy, and the Mets need a starting pitcher. So it makes sense why they would trade for a guy like Garrett Crochet. Now, you don't know if he's going to become an amazing starting pitcher, or maybe he'll be a great bullpen piece, but definitely this guy will be essential to your team. He will make an impact, and hopefully he'll make an impact in the rotation. But if that doesn't work out, he can make an impact in the bullpen. But this guy is cost effective. You're not, buying. You're not buying this guy. You're just trading for him. And obviously, you're gonna have to trade up some assets. The White Sox owner basically said, Garrett Crochet, they want, position player returns. That's what they want. That's what they're interested in. And I feel like the Mets have a farm system to get this guy. I really do. They got Jet Williams. They got Ronnie Mauricio. They got Luis Angel Acuna. They have Ryan Clifford. There's definitely a lot of position players that they have for prospects that they could trade to get Garrett Crochet. And you also got Kevin Parada. You also got Blake Tidwell. So there's a lot of talent that the Mets have. And so, but I feel personally that you also got Ronnie Mauricio as well. But if you trade, the thing is, they want position player return. They want offense. What could be a great fit for the White Sox? Maybe it could be a trade for a Jet Williams, a guy that's up and comer prospect, and just basically about to be in AAA soon. And I think he ended the season in AAA. He obviously did pretty well in the fall in the Arizona Fall League. And now he could possibly be an asset in a trade or, to the White Sox. And Garrett Williams, a guy like that, that definitely will be essential to the White Sox. But the White Sox have to be smart here because there's going to be a lot of teams going after Garrett Crochet. But I feel the New York Mets definitely have the ability to get this guy. They definitely do. And you gotta, if you want to develop a rotation, you want to help your rotation. You got Kodai Senga, next year. You got David Peterson. You got Jose Budo if they want to put him in the rotation back again. And you also got Tyler McGill. Now Tyler McGill, we've seen him. We've seen him struggle. We've seen the Mets give him multiple chances and it not really work out. So that's why you make a trade for a guy like Garrett Crochet. Because that could be potential rotation help. The Mets are in need of pitching depth. Definitely, they are in need. And Crochet has primarily been used out of the bullpen. But definitely, the fact that he was developed this year as a starting pitcher makes him valuable. His fastball slider is disgusting to both righties and lefties. So this guy has the ability to become a great starting pitcher. But it obviously is going to take maybe some time. But Garrett Crochet, he has flexibility. He can be a reliever or he can be a starter. Now, we will see what happens when it comes to a guy like Garrett Crochet, but it makes sense if you're the New York Mets to trade for this guy. You have prospects. So why not, cash these prospects in and get a high upside pitcher? I feel Garrett Crochet. Just imagine a rotation with Kodai Senga, with Garrett Crochet. See, that sounds more interesting, doesn't it? It definitely does. Now, I know they got a qualifying offer to Sean Manaea. They got a qualifying offer to Luis Severino. I don't know if they're going to accept it, but I feel Garrett Crochet would be a great fit for the New York Mets. And the Mets need pitching, and pitching is not easy to find. You got Walker Buehler, you got Max Fried, you got Corbin Burns right now in free agency, but maybe you don't want to spend money after if you want to get a guy like Juan Soto, if you want to get a guy like, Willie Adames or whatever, you don't want to spend, you don't want to spend so much money. Obviously, if you get Soto, you're going to be handcuffed. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things because that's going to take most of your payroll right there. But this guy, Garrett Crochet, if you trade for him, he's going to be a fit. He's definitely going to be a fit for your team, whether it's as a starter or as a bullpen pitcher. Now, there's definitely potential risk, guys. We got to talk about the potential risk because Garrett Crochet, Tommy John surgery, he had Tommy John surgery, which means that he's a question mark. The Mets definitely need to assess his medical history. The fact that he's had Tommy John surgery, you got to look close into that. He definitely hasn't been consistent performing-wise. He hasn't been great. Like I said, in 2024, he went 6-12 with a 3.58. He didn't really pitch deep into games. I don't think the White Sox really gave him the opportunity to pitch deep in games anyways. But he has some inconsistent performance. He's shown some flashes of brilliance, but definitely his control, his secondary pitches still need some refinement. So at the end of the day, if the Mets want to make a trade for a high upside left-handed pitcher like Garrett Crochet, why not? At the end of the day, they should, because you want to make your team better. You saw that you got to the playoffs. You got close to the World Series, but you didn't get there. But you saw what you could have done or what you did do with guys like Sean Manaea, Luis Severino, Jose Quintana. Not the most amazing rotation, but you still got far. So imagine a rotation with a healthy Kodai Senga, with a healthy Garrett Crochet, and with a guy like David Peterson, who definitely pitched well in 2024 and was a big surprise. So at the end of the day, if you're the Mets, if you want to make this move, then make the move. At the end of the day, make the move. I don't think, like I said, Ronnie Mauricio will be that valuable in this trade if they were to trade for this guy, because he's coming off a torn ACL and you don't know what he's going to be. But a guy like Luis Angel Acuna, a guy like, Jet Williams, like a Drew Gilbert, a Ryan Clifford, those guys definitely the White Sox will be interested in, I believe. But you also got to be smart, because you don't want to just give everyone up and, handcuff yourself and not have talent. So that is why being a baseball GM is hard. That is why you got to make the hard decisions. And not every decision is going to go the right way. But you got Steve Cohen, you got David Stearns, and I feel confident in what David Stearns and Steve Cohen are doing right now. Like I said, they got to the playoffs with that not a great roster, in 2024, but they made it work. They made it work, and David Stearns got the Mets to the playoffs in 2024. So will the Mets make the move for Garrett Crochet? It's definitely a good question. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Garrett Crochet should be with the New York Mets? Should they make a trade for Garrett Crochet? And let me know, who do you think that they should trade him for? Let me know, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, man. This is Randy. This has been Randy with the All Things Mets channel. And, man, I'm out of here. Have a good one, y'all.